Hello, I'm Angelina and welcome to my kitchen. Today I am going to make eggplant parmesan. It is all vegetables, there's no starches in it, unlike lasagna where you're using pasta. This has no pasta in it. It's just eggplant, mozzarella cheese, marinara sauce, breadcrumbs, and that's basically it, and it is so delicious. Once you taste this, you will just go crazy for more. So harvest is the best time for me because I get to get all these fresh vegetables. So I bought my eggplant fresh from the farm and I sliced it up into 1-inch rounds. And what I'm doing now is I'm salting these. And when we're making the eggplant parmesan, what you do is you take all your eggplant and you salt it. The first layer I salt and then I flip it on the back side. I resalt it and then I start to layer. So one layer salt goes on to the other, and you just keep on doing this till you have all of your eggplants salted, and you end up leaving this for at least 2 hours. Eggplant has a bitter to it, and you have to get rid of that. And what the salt does is it drains it of its liquid and it gets rid of the bitterness out of the eggplant and leaves just the great flavor of eggplant. I can't tell you how much I love eggplant. I finished salting it all, and now I'm going to let it rest for a minimum of 2 hours so that the liquid drains out of the eggplant. So I put it in a reservoir here. I'll just let it sit. I'm going to cover it with some paper towel or a cloth, and I'm going to go and I'm going to make my marinara sauce, which is going to be used to assemble the eggplant parmesan lasagna. So there is no pasta in this. Don't get fooled by my calling it lasagna, but I want you to know it is like a lasagna, just all vegetable. The marinara sauce is my standard sauce, which I'm going to make, which is taking onion and making it limp to a golden color, adding the garlic, adding my crushed tomato and the seasoning, salt, pepper, basil, parsley. That's all that's in the sauce. And we will prepare the mozzarella. The sauce is going to be ready. And once the eggplant has drained of its liquid, I will squeeze them. I'm going to taste them. If they taste a little bit salty, I'll just run them under quick water just to get rid of any extra salt, because I don't want them extra salty. But the marinara sauce is going to be very bland. I'm not going to put very much salt in it, so that the salt that's in the eggplant will infuse throughout the parmesan. And I will then assemble it, bake it. We will have it for dinner. This is going to be a pretty large eggplant parmesan. I'm going to break up into portions and I'm going to freeze it. And in the future, when I feel like I'd love a piece of that parmesan that I made during the harvest, I just go down to my freezer, pull it out, let it thaw out and warm it up in the oven, add a little bit more of marinara sauce, and dinner is ready without any effort. The eggplant has been under salt now for about 2 hours. And as you can see, the level of eggplant has really gone down. If you remember, it was high like this. I'm squeezing all of the liquid out of the eggplant before I fry it so that they're dry, and also it's taking the salt off. I finished squeezing all of the eggplants. It's taken me about 20 minutes to cook up all of the eggplant. I'm almost finished, and just to show you my pan, look, they're all fried up. There's about 3 layers like this, and I've put paper towel in to absorb the excess oil. So I have everything prepared to assemble the eggplant lasagna. This is my pan. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to put a few ladles of marinara sauce in the bottom. To line the pan first. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fried eggplant and I'm going to put a full layer. So I've got a layer of the fried eggplant down, and the next thing that I will put down are my dried breadcrumbs, which I bought a loaf of fresh Italian bread and I dried it in the oven, and then I processed it to breadcrumbs, and I added parsley and basil and garlic. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just spread a nice layer of these breadcrumbs. To which then I will go to my mozzarella, and I will add a nice layer of mozzarella. After the mozzarella, I will add some grated Parmesan. Now, this is all by feel. There isn't a real measurement. You probably have to make it a few times to really figure out what your preferred quantities are. What this does is this binds everything together and helps the lasagna stay together when you cut it. So we did a nice layer of that. And then we are going to go back to our sauce. And we're going to put a nice layer of the marinara sauce. And I'm going to spread the sauce so that it's evenly covering all of the eggplant. Now I'm going to go back to my eggplant, and I'm going to do another layer of eggplant. And if you remember, when I was frying, I had put in paper towel to collect the oil. By putting the paper towel in between, it absorbs the excess oil that happened during the frying, and your Parmigiana doesn't end up being too oily after it's cooked. So I'm going to bring this up to the camera to let you see. So you see, I've done a layer of the eggplant. So now we'll go back to the breadcrumbs. My mozzarella, Parmesan cheese. Now this is Parmesan Reggiano, very, very high quality Parmesan that I buy by the piece and I grate it myself. So then we're going to put our egg in to bind it. You just want it to be stringy. You don't want to have a big glob of egg when you're cutting through this. And so by stringing it like this, it is there to bind everything, and you don't really see the egg when you're eating your Parmesan. Okay, and then we go back to our sauce. So I'm going to be doing 2 more layers like this. My eggplant Parmesan has 4 layers. I'm going to finish that, and then I will put it in the oven at 375 for 1 hour. Keeping an eye on it. If it seems to be cooking fast, because oven temperatures sometimes are different from household to household, I will turn down the oven to 300 if it looks like it's cooking too quickly, and after it cooks for an hour, I take it out and I allow it to rest for 30 minutes before I cut it, if I'm going to serve it right away. If not, what I'm going to do is I am going to let it completely cool, and then I'm going to cut it up into pieces, and I will then package those pieces individually or in chews for quick dinners from the freezer. I will then put it, once I've got it packaged, I'll put it into the freezer, and we will have eggplant Parmesan on a wintry evening. Give this a try. Let me know how you like this recipe. Please subscribe to my channel, and have a great day.